they loving my swag. They loving my swag. They loving my swag. Yeah, they loving my dab. They loving my dab. They loving my dab. Jocking my swag. Hey, I am Robert Prime, PT. Yay, hey, yeah. So look, today I ain't got no pranks going on. I ain't got no blogs going on. This kind of gonna be like story time for y'all. Today, I'm gonna be answering some questions that you guys been wanting to know for a very long time. I mean, for a very long time. I'm talking about we're gonna take it back to 2016 when it all started.
This is Robert Primes PT, a local Houston rapper, and his music video entitled I've Got a Problem. Call it life imitating art, Primes does have a problem, a legal one. The former Prairie View A&M football standout was arrested on Wednesday and is now charged with 3 counts of compelling prostitution. According to sources, the 3 victims being prostituted out of this Fifth Ward motel, runaways from the local children's center, 2 of them 15 years old, the other only 13.
So y'all saw the clip, right? Alright, so look, I ain't gonna get into too much of the detail because I do have a book coming out December 25th on Christmas called This Was Never My Dream. By now, you guys have saw the news feed. You guys see what they said about me. Prairie View football standout. Yes, everybody knows Robert Primes is a great football player. I was born with a talent. I could catch anything. ICE, Ice Guard, I catch everything. But listen, check me out. I am a PV alumni. I am not one of those people that just went to college to say they went to college. I graduated with a bachelor's degree at the age of 22. I believe I was 22 or 23 at the time. Then they say very popular rapper in Houston. Yes, I had the #1 song at the time called I Got a Problem. And they used all of my good and tried to flip it on top of me. What I'm gonna tell you guys is right now, the news will tell you anything. But if you know someone and you genuinely know someone and you actually know somebody, it's gonna be up to you to make the decision if you believe they're guilty or not guilty. My book is called This Was Never My Dream. I'm not gonna give you guys all the details, but what I will do in my book for the chapter, when I explain about this whole story that happened to me May of 2016, I'm gonna leave it up to the fans. I'm gonna leave it up to the subscribers, the followers. The chapter is gonna be called Guilty or Not Guilty.
Primes' bond is set at $50,000 a piece, that is, for each one of those felony counts. We are reporting live downtown tonight. I'm Jonathan Martinez, KPRC, Channel 2 News.
So, Primes, what got you into music?
Actually, I didn't start doing music until after I got hurt. I tore my ACL, playing with Prairie View. I had a lot of NFL scouts coming out to see me. Tore my ACL. I was feeling sorry for myself. I always could sing, but I didn't actually take music serious until I felt like I couldn't play football anymore. I only had one dream in my life, and that was to play football.
So, Prime, I did notice one of the angles they tried to charge you with was with one of your hit songs that had 1.7 million views. It's called I Got a Problem. Can you kind of break that down for me, what it means?
I Got a Problem. The lyrics alone will make anyone stereotype you if you don't come from where we come from. So the song said, I got a problem. I'm in love with these hoes that ain't the hoe, it's just the way she make me feel. I ain't gonna lie, I got a problem. I'm in love with my dough, it ain't the dough, it's just the way it make me live. I got a problem. So with that being said, it's more so of it just saying like we all got problems. Everybody have their own addiction. I can say women is mine, somebody can say drugs is theirs, crack is theirs, gambling is theirs. But I'm just, in college, it's like, like a party and bullshit, like just having fun and just living the life.
Is the music you rap about real? Because from the sound of your lyrics and your music, you kind of contradicting yourself.
Honestly, coming from where I come from, to the people that don't come from where I come from, they're going they're going to stereotype and they're going to put their own judgment on it. Me, music is like a movie. Just because a person play a role in a movie, that don't mean that that's the role they live in their real life. But in my life at that time, when I said I had a problem, I was in love. Yes, I was around nothing but women and cars and money and. I had fun. It was all about fun. It was never about the person. It was never about the money. It was about how it made me feel. So where I come from, I don't feel like I'm contradicting myself. I feel like I was just telling my story at that time in my life.
So based off the charges that you was charged with, the typical person gets 30, 45 years, done deal. How are you sitting in front of me right now having this interview?
One, I will say, and this is really like a message to a lot of people. If you feel like you ain't do it, and you know deep down you ain't do it, us as African American young men in my hood, taking pleas is like a trophy. Like, oh, bro, if they can give me 5 years, I'm gonna take it. They can give me, I ain't taking nothing. If I ain't do it, I'ma stand on it. I gotta stand on it. So how I'm standing here is because I didn't give up. When I say I had my days when I just tears and thinking that the world changed on me, yeah, I feel like it was all over for me. I feel like dang, my life can be really taken away from me. But I just kept on. I had to fire a lawyer. I had to fire another lawyer. I had to fire another lawyer. Because the lawyers, they was more so about my money. They wouldn't really care. They just cared about the popularity and how big the case was. Then I finally found the lawyer that actually cared about me and not just the money. That cared that we actually graduated from the same college. So shout out to my lawyer, Carl Moore and DeJohn. Man, I'm here today. I'm free. But what I'll say is, why I'm still standing here, because I'll say I didn't give up. And I ain't take a plea. I couldn't plea out. I mean, the game is really, it's twisted. Like, they switched my words up. This is something that I really wasn't supposed to be telling on this. But they recorded me talking in a room, and when I heard myself again, I was answering questions that I never even answered to. And I was just like, dang, but that's what they say. When you're in the investigation room, shut up, don't say nothing. That's something I learned.
So with your case, it was dealing with between 15 and under.
Yeah.
How did that impact your life? Because sometimes, when people hear about 15 and underage girls, they get written off as sex offenders, stuff like that. So
yeah,
how did it impact
I ain't
you?
even gonna stunt. That was like out of all the things, that was like the worst thing. I got 3 daughters, 11, 6, and 8. So, man, when I first fought the case, when I finally got out on bond, I was in a Walmart, people looking at me crazy, looking at me up my side of my head. People saying, oh man, he looking at this person, looking at, just straight just judging me all off what the news said. And honestly, I couldn't even meet a beautiful woman out of the club or nothing, because by the time I got her number, by the time she left, she didn't Google me or looked me up on Instagram or probably told her friends, like, girl, you know that guy, Robert Primes, the rapper? He's like, yeah, girl, you don't want to talk to him. He be messing with them little girls. Like, that put a bad reputation on my name for a long time. They hate you, they love you, they hate you, then they love you again. That's just when people live, but you gotta be strong, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't even gonna lie. That was hard. That was hard.
Do you think it was a race thing that played like a major role in the length of court days, stuff like that? Or
I will honestly say that I'll say like 90%, because I never done a drug before in my life, and my bond was taken away from me multiple times for missing the drug test, and I never failed the drug test, never. And the judge put me in incarceration for 8 months because I missed the drug test during the Hurricane Harvey when the course was closed, and then told me that she wasn't gonna give me a bond until Christmas, it was in April. So yeah, and they used to call me the rapper pimp when I used to come to court, and they all was white. So I would definitely say race played a factor. My bond was set at $150,000 on my first charge ever, and I had a friend of mine that admitted to killing 2 people, and his bond was lower than mine. So I was confused right there too. So I would say race played a factor, and then the charges was 3 white girls. It wasn't 3 African American young girls. It was 3 white girls, and this is a secret out the book. Like this whole story, I was set up by a family member, my own family member.
You don't have to.
You can replace a name and say, I'm gonna just call.
No, I'm gonna say that name. I don't give a fuck.
You don't have to disclose the name. It's totally up to you. Can you go in a little bit more detail about the family member that you said set you up?
Yeah, my family member gave me a call one day. I I remember like yesterday. It's really like a book. That's why I have a book. But I'm just giving y'all this because I know y'all been itching for this. My family member called me. I'm gonna take it back. My cousin, she's been a prostitute since she was 14. She's older than me. So she's been like a runaway. So she been in the streets, she got the streets right. She been doing that, you know, and one day I get a phone call and she said, hey, this guy just called me out my name. Coming from where I come from, I don't care if you're gay, I don't care if you're a crackhead, I don't care if you're a prostitute. If you're my family, you call, I'm coming. I pull up, I ain't gonna go into all details. I said what I said to the guy. I said, hey, you called my cousin out her name. He said, yeah, I did. I had my gun on me at the time. I took my gun out, set it down, I turned around. He said, yeah, put your hands up. Anything you say could be used against you. And I'm like, whoa, what the hell is going on? This thing, you know, 20, let me bring it back. I said about 13 or 14 unmarked cars surrounded me. And my cousin was standing there like, oh my God, what's going on? But the whole time, she set me up. That's all I'm willing to give. Y'all gotta read the book for the rest.
Why are you the prime suspect in your past investigation, and why would you think your family member set you up?
For one, from what I know now, she got caught with those girls. And like I said before, she's a prostitute. From what I know, I'm not gonna say I'm 100% sure on this, but from what I know, from what the street said and the girls that she prostituted with, they say that, you know, she gave one of the officers, you know, some dumb. He let her out the car, basically told her, you got the same last name as Mr. Primes, you give us him, we let you go. While I feel like the case was stuck on me, I will say this to anybody in the world. Whether you did it or you didn't do it, when you go in them investigation rooms, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing. I don't care if you're right, I don't care if you're wrong, because everything that they put on the news, I gave them. They never knew what the room was. I took them to the room. They never knew about how I met them, how I met the girls. They never knew about anything but what I gave them. Only why? Because I was shook up and I was trying to explain myself because I knew I was telling the truth. But the whole time I was explaining myself, I was building my own case. So why I became the main suspect? Because I built my own case. The feds was on my case for 48 hours. Feds got off my case. Feds said this is not enough. The Fed officer said he believed every word I said, and they got off my case. But if you've been in the streets and you know the criminal justice system, the state pick up everything. The state picked it up. The guy walked in and said, you're going to be charged with 3 counts of compelling prostitution. Stop. Compel. Compel means to force or to make someone do something. Automatic, the case is already wrong. You're already wrong because you ain't catching me standing over somebody and say, do this, do that. That's an automatic. But why they call it compel? Because it makes it a stronger case. So now you get to start dropping the cases down to a lower charge, a lower charge, a lower charge. But the strongest case you can give me is compel.
How do you feel that the situation impacted you personally? And if you can go back in time, what would you alter?
Honestly, how it impacted, it left a huge, it put a pause on my life for at least 3 years. I didn't know what my future holds. I was just trying to spend as much time with my family members. I didn't trust the criminal justice system at all. So at some point, I feel like, you know, my life is gonna be taken away at some point. You know, honestly, I wouldn't tell nobody else to think like this, but where I come from, you either die or go to jail. So I was lucky enough to be alive after the age of 18. So when that started happening to me, you know, I'm the first person in my family to graduate from college. I'm the first person in my family to actually accomplish something so powerful to where like any wrongdoing can go bad just off of you being so popular. So it impacted me to where like now when in a good way, it left a whole impact on me to where now I set boundaries. Honestly, since that case, I don't even do charity events. I used to be the same guy doing charity events and try to help everybody, but ever since that case, I don't like helping nobody. I don't want to help nobody because that's what I was doing. I was trying to help somebody, and then I got screwed in the end. It came back to hunt me in the end, and people tell me, oh, you can't do that, you can't look at it like that. Yes, I can, because nobody went in my shoes. What would I do differently? I wouldn't say I wouldn't have helped them because that was me. What person thinks to walk up to someone with the intentions? If you got good intentions, what person is going to walk up to someone and say, hey, let me see y'all ID? If I don't have anything, I'm not trying to have sex with you, I'm not trying to get anything from you, I'm just helping you out, I have no reason to ask you for those things if I don't have bad intentions. You get what I mean? So it's kind of like, only thing that I would change is it's just being quiet in the investigation room, because I still to this day don't feel like that I did something wrong. Now what I will say is, I can say this and people can judge me, they can say what they want after I say this. And this is something a lot of people probably been wanting to know. The case is over, and I can say this, my lawyer probably is like, hey, tell your story, fuck it. Did I know what my cousin was doing in the hood? And did I know what those girls was doing after a week or two? Hell yeah. But what that got to do with Robert Primes? Just because I know a drug dealer and I know a smoker, just because they do business together, that don't mean they work for me. So that just don't weigh out. It weighed out. Why? Because I was a popular one. I made a headline. I made a story. Why? Because why didn't they put my co-defendant on the news with me? Why didn't we stand neck to neck with our mugshots? Nah, it was all about Robert Primes, Prairie View football star, Houston popular rapper. Why? Because they want you to know that this is somebody that we need to tear down. This is somebody that have an impact on our community. But you got a person that have 11 priors that never made the news, still to this day. Still never made the news, but in jail for the charge right now today. The same charges I was fighting, they in jail for it. Why? Because they got caught doing it 2 weeks later. Those same girls that they charged me with got another man locked up in Fort Worth County, and that man got 45 years. Those girls, those little girls was runaways. But if you see those girls, let's be realistic. We ain't talking about no damn judge, we ain't talking about no DA, we ain't talking about no 12 people in the jury. We talking about being realistic, being a human. If you walking in the hood and you see a girl smoking a cigarette, got tattoos on her face, your first thing you're gonna do is assume that she's grown. You're not thinking that, oh, this girl 15 or she's 16 or whatever the age she is. She's smoking a cigarette and got tattoos on her face. I don't know what grown up that don't look like that. First of all, what 15-year-old and 14-year-old smoking cigarettes and got tattoos on their face? Meaning, these girls been doing that shit before I was even brought up on, or before I was even thought about. These girls been living that lifestyle. I just so happened to be caught up at the wrong place at the wrong time with the wrong family member and helping the wrong person. All I'm gonna say is, he just taught me how to set boundaries. It left a huge impact. I lost a lot of time with my daughters. I lost a lot of friends. I had a lot of people I used to take care of. They changed. And honestly, like, that's where this come from. You know, loyalty only. Because a lot of people that love you, but they'll cross you out as soon as something go bad. There's a lot of people that's surrounded around you right now. And it look like they're clapping for you. But in reality, they just waiting on you to make one false step, one false move, and they're going to be the one that just shove you over the hill. Like, why? Because they want what you got. not knowing what it took for you to get to where you at. So honestly, I don't like my case because I have daughters, and as they get older, I'm probably gonna have to explain it to them over and over what it is. But what I will say is, it made me a man I am today. It made the way I move, the way I talk, the way I walk, the way I stand, the way I look people in the eyes when I talk to them, my personality. That case built me, and I don't regret it. So last but not least, man, I'm just gonna let y'all know, to all my supporters, all my fans, all the people that stood by me when I fought this case, I really want to give a special shout out to my bro Deep from California. He was really there for me the whole time, never changed on me. Carlette, Darnell, you know, my sisters and brothers. I appreciate everybody that stayed down and supported me. To my fans and supporters, what I want you to know is the book is coming out in December. It's called This Was Never My Dream. I'm going to drop my cover on this video for the first time. You guys are going to see the cover of my book. This was never my dream. I'll give you a snippet of the meaning of this was never my dream. This was never my dream. I only had one dream in my whole entire life, and that was to play football. But I have made so many dreams come true after I tore my ACL. So really, in reality, your dream is what you put in your mind. Your dream can change every day you wake up. Whatever you put your mind to, that's your dream. So that's what I'm going to be explaining in my book. You know, I'm going to have a chapter. I'm going to have multiple chapters going to explain the story of with me and my kids, me and my mom, me and my brothers, my childhood, me as a gang member growing up. Like, it's going to give you all the tea. It's going to give you everything you guys been asking for. I can't break it down to you guys all today, but I do want you guys to stay tuned. If you don't like what you see, hey, you can easily unsubscribe, unfollow. I'm not going to feel no way. I done lost a lot of family members and friends over the time of my lifestyle. But right now, you have got an exclusive interview and answers from me that you guys been wanting since 2016. Listen to me when I say this. When life knocks you down, try rolling over on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up.
Hey, they loving my swag, they loving my swag, they loving my swag, yeah, they loving my dab, they loving my dab, they loving my dab.